This week is National Crime Victims' Rights Week, and District Attorney Cynthia Zimmer is wanting to honor survivors and victims of crime by hosting an Honor and Remembrance Drive. And she joins us now live to talk about the event. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
So let's just jump right in. Tell me, what exactly is this drive?
Well, we're celebrating the 40th anniversary of National Crime Victims' Rights Week. And we're having a number of events to raise awareness for victims' rights and to honor victims and those groups who work very hard to support victims. And we're doing a number of things. This morning, we're having a golf tournament to raise money for Secret Witness because we had 125 homicides last year and not all those homicides are solved. So we're working hard to do that. We're also going to be posting a number of Facebook videos on our District Attorney Facebook page. They are stories of victims and what they have gone through and victims' family members. And then also on Wednesday at 2:30, we're having an honor drive. We're going to have pictures of victims on the south side of the sidewalk in front of the courthouse and the Board of Supervisors building. That's the 1200 block of Truxton. And BPD is slowing traffic, and we ask the public to come by and drive at about 5 miles an hour because we can't gather, and they can see the posters of the victims who lost their lives last year to violence and pay their respects.
And can you talk a little bit about, what this week means to those families who have lost someone to crime?
It means a lot to those families. And unfortunately, we usually have a big march where hundreds of victims and their family members come and get together and talk to people who have supported them and talk to each other and gain support from each other. It's a difficult time. When you have been affected by a crime, it changes your life forever. And to know that there are those people who are out there in law enforcement and victim advocacy groups who care about you, who will support you, means a lot to victims.
Obviously the ultimate goal is to release, the number of crimes that we're seeing here in the community. You mentioned a statistic, 125 homicides. How are we doing this year? Are we tracking a similar course, or are we seeing a lower rate?
So far in the first 3 months of 2021, we are far above even what we were last year. And that's unfortunate news. We're hoping when schools open, when people can get back to their business, and when people can gather and be supportive, that will go down. But the pandemic has had a horrific influence on public safety.
Yeah, that's quite alarming to hear that. Wow. So circling back, we've just got a little bit amount of time left. If people want to take part in some of the events that you had listed earlier, how do they go about doing that?
For victims. And if anybody knows anything about a crime, we really, really hope people will call Secret Witness at 322-4040 and report any type of information they may know about a crime.
Well, Cynthia Zimmer, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.